I apologise for recording in portrait. I will figure out the whole landscape mode thing at some point. I guess the first thing to talk about is the battery on the Leaf, because that's the first thing. That's why we were looking for an EV, obviously something electrical. It's a 24 kilowatt hour battery, which was the smallest one I think that the Leaf came in. It was what they did originally. When it was new, that would have been 124 mile range on a good day. I'm expecting a 70-odd thousand mile Leaf that's 11 years old to not have that kind of range, obviously. One of the things that you check is on the right hand side of the dash, there is what looks like a fuel gauge, and the sort of dibbles along the outside of that fuel gauge are divided up. They're actually in two. The outside arc of those dibbles shows you the battery health. So with a maximum of 12 dibbles, this car had 10, which I thought was pretty good for a car of its age and mileage. One of the things I read is that sometimes people can sort of fake those dibbles. So you can do some kind of reset, which would cause the car to show full 12 battery health, when in fact it's not that at all. So one thing you can do is buy something called LeafSpy. Now LeafSpy is an app. We ran it on Android. You buy the app, I think it's 15 or 20 quid. And then you have a dongle which goes into the diagnostic port on the car. So the OBD, I never get those the right way around, port on the car, and converts the signal to Bluetooth so that the app can pick it up on the phone. Now with that app, you can see a lot more information about the car and specifically about the battery, including the health of that battery, the SOH, I think it's called, the state of health. Now this car was about 78%, which again I thought was pretty good. So there wasn't anything horrific showing there. It had enough miles to get us home, so we took it home. The first thing was to kind of work out how we were going to charge it, because obviously we couldn't really go anywhere until we charged it. We are fortunate enough to have a driveway, and we had a plug outside that we normally use for jet washing cars and stuff like that. We had to upgrade the cabling behind it, the wiring, because it was only thin copper wiring, so we had to put new wiring in to be able to support the car as it was charging. So that was kind of job number one, really, was to get it to a point that we could actually charge the car. Now charging it, we are on the Octopus Agile Energy plan at the moment, which means that the rate of electricity varies during the day in half-hour windows. So we've been charging the car when the power is at its cheapest, which is usually overnight, or so far it's been overnight. It isn't always, but it will be. It is at the moment, rather. So we've been charging it overnight. It's been costing us around about £1.30, £1.50 to charge it. We're only charging to 80%. I think that is kinder for the battery in terms of its longevity, to charge it to 80% rather than 100%. Now that 80% is showing about 52 mile range. Now obviously it's cold at the moment, it's winter here in the UK. It's between 0 and 8 degrees Celsius. And although I'm trying to avoid using the heating, the temptation is strong to use the heating and the heated wheel and the heated seats. So I don't know exactly what range we're getting out of it, but it's okay, it's doing okay. So about 54 mile range from 80% full. I doubt it's really doing 54 miles, but for our use case, which is just to the station and back, to the gym and back, popping into town, shopping, stuff like that, it's doing really well.